I am Senator Stephanie Stahl Hamilton. I represent Legislative District 10, which is starts on just east of the university and runs through the center of town all the way to the east side. In my professional life, I served the state of Arizona and children from all over the state of Arizona. And as I began to pay attention to policies coming out of the state legislature and as it impacted my family at the very local level, I also was noticing the impacts on the children I was serving statewide. And I found myself picking up the phone and calling. And I don't even know if I was calling the right people, but I found myself calling our elected officials and advocating either for stopping bills that I thought would be detrimental to the children I served, or asking for yes votes, promoting bills that I thought would be really helpful. And it seemed like every time I picked up that phone, I just knew our state could be doing better for our children. And so truly, over the period of 8 or 9 years, I found myself becoming a very strong advocate for our children. You know, I could look at my own children, and then it's just so easy for me to just open that embrace and see all children as my children and wanting our state to do a better job of investing in our children's futures. And so that was that was the impetus behind me running for office. Well, this session, it seems like I've been playing more defense than offense, and some of the issues where I have found my voice this session are related to the real hot topics. So are trying to tackle a lot of anti-abortion legislation, anti-trans legislation, environmentalists, you know, so we're looking at the environment, again, looking at our children and our families. It seems like I have definitely found a voice in opposition. I would love to be able in the future to have a proactive voice as well. And, you know, I'm still new, so I think I'm getting there. Coffee. I think I would say an enduring love. In relationships, I adore my partner, and that love goes a long way. And I think a really good story. I think inspiration is found when we get curious, right? And when we can connect with those things that cause a little bit of wonder. And I think for me, certainly the natural world, you know, the environment, I find so much inspiration, you know, down in Tucson. I just have to look out my front door and I've got a view of mountains, right? I find the newness of this job, I think there are days that I feel inspired to continue to lean in to try to make a difference. There's so much to learn, and we're never more excited as when we're learning, you know, and so as I'm leaning in and learning, I still feel inspired by the work and by the possibilities of what government can do. And I think on the more personal front, where I'm in a real sweet spot with my family right now, and seeing the people that my children are becoming, it is always fun to go home and have conversations. They're curious about what it is that I'm doing, and I don't always necessarily give my opinions, but I lay out some of the things that we discuss in committee, and just listening to their approach and their take. It is inspiring when I look to my children and I think, you know, we're in good hands. We're going to be okay. Oh, that is a really good question. I'm finding that it does take a little bit longer for me to decompress. And so I'm still looking for those things that help me, certainly, getting outdoors, always moving my body. My husband and I have a tandem bike, and every now and then I try to get out on the tandem bike, riding through neighborhoods around my house. It's a lot of fun. And again, sometimes if I just want to decompress, I'll stream some Netflix, right? That's probably my biggest guilty pleasure. But again, find a good story, a good storyline, I get sucked in. I appreciate the mental break, but typically getting out and moving my body quite a bit, helps to be rejuvenated. And, we're getting there with where we are and reaching voters, so I find that I'm out a lot outdoors, mixing with people, interacting with folks, which honestly, good conversation can also be very rejuvenating. Oh, well, sure. I'm on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's probably some of the easiest ways they can find me. My website. And certainly if you're concerned about legislation, my assistant at the Arizona legislature, send me an email, sstahlhamilton@azledge.gov. Email me, call my assistant. I am very accessible.